Hope everyone's doing well. My name is EQ and welcome to another episode of Stonkaholics. So on this episode, we're going to be going over the magical question that everyone is asking. Is the bull market over? Are we ending our bull cycle? Is it time to take our money out? Or are we just seeing a retracement and price is about to go back up and break all-time highs? Before we jump into this video, if you guys could throw a like on it, subscribe to the channel, anything, that would be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's get rolling. We got a lot of people out here on YouTube and everywhere saying that this bull market is over. Do I think it's over? Personally, no. Can we retrace more? We definitely can. We've had a massive move coming in. We're still not close to the 200 EMA on the daily chart, but if you go to the 4-hour, we are crossing under the 200 EMA, which we haven't done in a long time. But we're going to go top down on this because everyone forgets that when in doubt, zoom out. So this is the move that we're at currently based on the and then there's the 2018 boom on this side where it came up a little bit, and then we had our crash. Some people are saying it's looking similar to that. See that we did have a massive move. We're looking to get a support on this 80 RSI right here. If we can get a support, that's going to be great. If we dip lower than that, price can't continue to push down on a long term. You can see from the start of this little move here, we're getting close to the 61, but not so quite. And on a massive term, we have a lot of space to drop, so we can potentially drop to the 549 billion if it does want to do a full retracement off the weekly. Now let's look at our daily chart. Going into the daily, you can see we've had a couple dips here and there. They're relatively close in size to this one. This one was a little more aggressive, but you have to remember that this move was a lot more aggressive in terms of an impulse move. And even from here, you can see price is starting to hit the wicks at the 6180, which is the golden number. So we're still in a healthy retracement currently. I wouldn't be hitting the panic button just yet, but I know a lot of traders don't want to be wrong. A lot of people don't make predictions for that specific reason, especially scammers. They don't like to make these calls because the second it looks wrong, it ruins everything they've been working on, and everything they want to show is gains. But then you have other traders, I'm not going to call them out, guys like that claim to be diamond hands and this and that, and you get a little minor retracement and they start freaking out and taking all their bags out and saying everything is over. The opposite of their diamond hands. Don't be one of them. More than likely they're just trying to trick you to get you to sell your stuff too, so they can buy it for an even lower price and get right back in and say, oh well, you know, I saw a rebound and so I got into it, and then the next day I released my YouTube video. Sorry guys. Happens a lot more than you would think. A lot of these YouTube guys, and you could say myself, we don't immediately post the moves that we're doing on YouTube because it takes us a while to get the videos out. I try to do the best I can in the Discord group to keep everyone up to date. So if you want the most up-to-date information, join our Discord group. The link's going to be below. But all in all, we're seeing a huge potential in growth on the STO RSI on this point. I'm going to go back to the weekly just so I could show you something real quick. The last time that we did drop off from the last boom, you can see that price was in the overbought area and came all the way back down into the oversold. On this impulse, however, everyone wants to say it's the same, but it's not. We're still only at we haven't even really reached, we hit essentially a resistance at the 50 STO RSI. So we haven't even got to the point of being in the overbought area on the weekly. And you can see here we have a nice little lower wick forming. We still have a full day, so hopefully this can push up a little more and we'll have even more of a lower wick showing buyer potential and buyer push. Now going to the 4-hour is fun. Let's take this fib out of here. A big thing you'll see from a lot of these other traders on YouTube, they'll be talking about there's no other support areas nearby. The only other supports are going to be down here. No, that's not necessarily true. You want to map this out yourself. Don't just listen to what these guys are saying, because if I want to put this here, and if I want to stick this right here, and even put one on the bottom, you can see all three of those points that I just highlighted are major SR flip areas. So in order for price to break this, we had to hit a resistance and then hit the next resistance to hold support, then break this resistance, come up, make this support, so on and so forth. Yes, we did break down, but we held support right at a major SR flip area. There are 2 points right off the bat that I can see that we're holding for support, 3 areas technically. And then when you move up to this support, you have another area in major SR flips. So the fact that it did hold in this area is showing a support hold. If price wants to dip down further, it can continue to dip. You can see, even from my perspective, I can see right here would be a potential support hold. If it wants to click right there, that's a potential support hold, as well as right here is going to be a potential support hold. So there are a lot of areas where price can catch itself and continue to move up. A lot of people are also forgetting that in order to have these massive moves and set these new all-time highs, we need to have retracements and we need to have these consolidations. And all of this stuff is natural for the movement of charts. Without this, we wouldn't be able to continue. We'll do a little trick that I like to do. We'll put one here and one here, just in case we do want to drop down that far. We're already forming a sort of trend on both sides. Alright, so one of the first potential pushes is going to be in this little triangle right here. It's because we have a major support hold area on top of a trend channel, which it looks like it can be holding at the moment. So if it holds support and breaks out of this trend line and holds support outside, we could see the move back up. If it does not make the move and continue to come down, we can see price drop and work its way into this corner, which from here it'll begin to make its move up or down, continuing. If you really want to add another area, my third area would be right here. Boom. So one of these 3 areas, if price wanted to turn up, it would be somewhere in these general areas. I don't know why it doesn't want to stay straight. The price can at any point from here break up or down. In my honest opinion, I'm thinking it's more than likely to break up, especially considering the daily isn't severe oversold right now and we're hitting into the bearish RSI, which hasn't happened in a little while. Since we had a little bit before. Last impulse move is the last time you saw us get into this bearish ground. So we're hoping to make this push. But all in all, I do not think the bear market is over. I think we have a lot more to go. Remember to do your own research and due diligence. Don't just depend on one person's source or one person's summary, because there is bias in trading. It is very subjective, so everyone else sees something a little bit different than the next person. So we want to make sure that we're getting the most viable information so that we're not hitting in panic mode. And that about wraps up our market cap video and where this market is going to be pushing going forward. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Stonecoholics. If you found anything useful, make sure to throw a like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one.